Hello students, so welcome back to the channel. So in the previous video we have seen the most abundant organic compound and which is making the highest composition of the cell cytoplasm is protein. Okay, but you can check table 9.4 where we are finding protein is the highest most organic compound which is making 10 to 15% of the total cell mass. So protein, which is the highest most, and it is making 10 to 15% of the cell mass. So protein is a polymer of amino acids. The protein, we have already seen they are polymers. The protein is polymer of amino acid. Okay, beta. So now let us discuss right now amino acids. What are amino acids? So see carefully, beta. They are organic compound which contain an amine group and they are having the acidic group, means carboxylic group as substituent on the same carbon, that is alpha carbon. That is why they are known as alpha amino acid and they are also known as substituted methane. So beta, see here, if you know methane formula is this, we write this way. Clear beta? CH4. So now what we are doing is, see my board carefully, I am replacing this H with the NH2 group. I am replacing it with amine group NH2. And second, I am replacing with the carboxylic group. Okay, beta. This I am replacing with the carboxylic group. Means amine group I have kept and acidic group, carboxylic group is kept. That is why the name is given amino acid, because amine group is there and acidic group is there. So name amino acid is clear. Now the another position is here you will put the variable R group. This is the variable R group. Clear beta? This is variable R group. So what we have done, we have just substituted the H, means we have replaced the H with another functional groups, either amine group or carboxylic group. That is why we say amino acids are substituted methane. Is it clear? And they are called alpha amino acids because they are substituent of the same carbon. This you will be studying more in detail in your 12th class chemistry biomolecule chapter. So we can see carefully there are 4 substituent groups occupying the 4 valency position. One is hydrogen. Clear beta? This hydrogen you can see. We are keeping the hydrogen. Then second is we are keeping the carboxyl group. So yes, we are keeping the carboxyl group. Third, we are keeping the amine group. Yes, amine group. And the fourth is variable R group, which is known as R. Now, based on the nature of the R group, please focus this line, very, very important. Based on the nature of R group, okay, nature of R group, we are finding different types of amino acids are there. So based on the nature of R group, we are finding different types of amino acids. Now, those which occur in the protein are only of 20 types. So to make the proteins generally means to make the peptide bonds, we are making use of only 20 types of amino acids. So based on the nature of R groups, there are different types, out of which 20 are seen in the protein. Now R group can be hydrogen only in case of glycine. So we can do one thing, try to learn this way better. Glycine will have only hydrogen, alanine will have only methyl group, and serine will have hydroxymethyl group. Clear beta? So R group you can write H for glycine. You can write CH3 for alanine. And then you can write CH2OH is for in case of serine. Clear? So variable R group can be replaced by H in glycine, by CH3 in alanine, by CH2OH in serine. Now let me show you the diagram from where this is given in the diagram. Now see beta, this is your carboxyl group, this is amine group, this is H, and this is variable group. This is variable group which is replaced by H in case of glycine, replaced by CH3 in case of alanine, and replaced by serine in case CH2OH in case of serine. So learn this way, and another learning tips we can learn this way: gas, glycine, alanine, serine, HCH3, CH2OH. I think so this diagram of amino acid you can learn very easily now. Clear beta? Now see beta, chemical and physical properties is because of amine group, carboxyl group, and R functional group. Again, very important question. If suppose I ask you chemical and physical property of amino acid is due to, I can say option number 1 amino group, option 2 carboxyl group, option 3 R functional group, or fourth option all of the above. Then you will give the answer all of the above, because it is due to all of the above. Is it clear? Now next concept, based on whether R group means based on the amino and carboxyl group number. If amine group is more, the amino acid will be basic. If carboxyl group is more, then your amino acid will be acidic. So please focus beta. Based on the number of amino and carboxyl group. If amino is more, it is basic. If carboxyl is more, it is acidic. So we are having different types of amino acids. Like acidic example is given your glutamic acid. So you can write here glutamic acid is an example of acidic. And one from the mineral nutrition also you can write down. Another is your aspartic acid. These are the two examples of acidic amino acid, where carboxyl group is high in number. Is it clear? Then basic amino acid, if amine group is more. Two example, please write down better, lysine and arginine. So acidic is glutamic acid, basic is your lysine. And neutral means when both amine group and carboxyl group are equal. The third is neutral. Neutral is your valine. So these classification is based on the number of amine group or carboxyl group. If amine group is more, it is basic. Here amino group is more. Okay, I'm just putting arrow here, means it is more. If carboxylic group is more, it means it is acidic. And if both are equal, amine group and carboxylic group both are equal, then it is neutral. Clear beta? The neutral example is valine. So I've tried to explain you here, given the table, please draw it this way only. Apart from this, there are other aromatic amino acids also. Aromatic amino acids, please make a note: tyrosine, phenylalanine, tryptophan, these three also. Is it clear? Now, if you see, very important properties of amino acid is that it can, NH2 and carboxyl group are in ionizable form. They can be in the ionizable nature. Is it clear? It means in the solution of different pH. Hence, in the solution of different pH, the structure of amino acid will change. Now, if you see here, this one, center one, this is the one which is zwitterine. The B is zwitterine. Is it clear? Now, let me explain you more from the chemistry of the biomolecule. I'll take the 12th class biomolecule chemistry and then explain you more. Now, see, beta, this is the paragraph from your biomolecule chapter of chemistry book. Now, see, amino acids, they are usually colorless crystalline solids. They are water soluble, high melting solids, and behave like salt rather than simple amine or carboxylic. Why? Because they are having both acidic and basic group attached to the same molecule. In aqueous solution, the carboxyl group can lose a proton and amine group can accept a proton, making it dipolar ion, which is known as zwitterine. But this zwitterine is again neutral because it contains both positive charge and negative charge. Is it clear? It can behave, it is showing an amphoteric behavior, means it reacts with both acid as well as base. Up till here, beta, you are understanding it? So I hope so, beta, up till here you have understood. Now see this condition where you are finding this one, beta. See here, it is only with positive charge. This you will find condition at low pH. This is condition at low pH. Okay. And where you are finding this one, check carefully. This is at high pH. Is it clear? And zwitterines are this one is your zwitterine, which is like a neutral ion only. This is neutral because it is having both negative charge as well as positive charge. So I hope so amino acid, this much is clear to you. Now see beta, this is one amino acid. Okay. This is variable group R. This is second amino acid. Variable group R2. So condensation reaction will be there, means dehydration reaction, or you say condensation reaction, in which water molecule will be eliminated. Water molecule is removed. And this bond, as a result, the bond which is made, this bond is known as peptide bond. Okay, this bond is known as peptide bond, which is a product of condensation reaction. Clear, beta? So I think so you can see here from the diagram, if we are making use of the carboxylic group of one amino acid and we are combining it with amine group of another, and removal of water molecule is done, means condensation reaction, or you can say dehydration reaction, in which water is removed, and as a result peptide bond is formed. CONH, peptide bond is formed. Is it clear, beta? Up till here concept is clear. Now one more concept is there. If I say dipeptide, so dipeptide will use two amino acid. Use two amino acid. Means peptide bond is one, but amino acids are two. Use two amino acid with one peptide bond. Clear, beta? So same if I say tripeptide. So tripeptide means we will use how many? I think so you can tell me, we will use three amino acid with two peptide bond. So this is again your important question area they can ask you. So see beta, I'm just highlighting it. Please try to focus this one. A tripeptide is the one which, a tripeptide contain three amino acids linked by two peptide linkage. Is it clear? The tripeptide means how many amino acids? Three amino acids. And how many peptide bond? Only two peptide bonds are there. So I hope this much you are able to understand. And when you are adding more and more amino acids, obviously you will say then polypeptide. So now you can see better, in a polypeptide means when more than one peptide bonds are there. Why? Because more than two amino acids means many amino acids are used. Or you can say polypeptide is also known as protein. Amino acids are linked by a peptide bond, and peptide bond is made when the carboxyl group of one amino acid reacts with the amine group of next amino acid with the elimination of water. I told you already, I've explained you. And this process is known as dehydration, also known as condensation reaction. So between the two amino acids, the bond which is present, that is known as peptide bond, and it is a product of the condensation reaction between the carboxyl group of one amino acid and amine group of another amino acid. So now see beta, what are proteins? Proteins are polypeptide, we have already seen. It means they are the linear chain of amino acid which are linked by peptide bond. Is it clear beta? It means protein is a polymer of amino acids. Each protein is a polymer of amino acid. That is why it was present in acid insoluble fraction. There are 20 types of amino acids are there. Alanine, cysteine you have studied in the mineral nutrition. This is sulfur containing amino acid. Proline, tryptophan, right now you have studied, it is an aromatic amino acid. Lysine is a basic amino acid. So we have to use only 20 types of amino acids. So protein is never homopolymer. Protein is always heteropolymer. And it can never be a homopolymer. Is it clear? The protein is never made by repeating unit of the same monomer. We have to use only 20. So obviously protein is always heteropolymer. Is it clear, beta? Now see, certain amino acids are essential for our health and they have to be supplied by the diet. It means the protein which you are taking, dietary proteins are the source for essential amino acids. So it means few amino acids are essential which you have to take from the diet. So essential amino acids are the one which is our body cannot prepare, and as a result we have to take it from the diet. Another is non-essential amino acids. The non-essential amino acids are those which our body can make. Is it clear? Non-essential our body can make, and essential are the one which our body cannot make, but we have to get them from the food or diet. Is it clear? So now let me give you the list of the essential amino acids. Now see, one learning tips is there for essential amino acids. You write this way: Willem, try his PhD there. V means valine. I is isoleucine. L is leucine. Next L, lysine. A is arginine. M is methionine. This means tryptophan. Histidine. Phenylalanine. And threonine. So these are the list of your essential amino acids. Is it clear? So these are the one which you have to obtain from the diet. Remaining our body can make, that is non-essential amino acids. So I think so in this video, I tried to explain you the amino acid. We started the topic, first of all, amino acids are substituted methane, and it is alpha amino acids. Now, R group, which is variable R group, based on this, there are 20 types of amino acids which are used in the proteins. Okay. Chemical and physical property of amino acid depend upon all three: carboxyl group, amino group, and variable R group. Depending upon the number of the amine and carboxylic, you can say it is neutral if it is equal number. It is acidic if carboxylic group is more. It is basic if amine group is more. The list is there in the NCERT. We have to learn that. Amino acids are joined with the help of peptide bond, which is a type of a condensation reaction. It is a dehydration between carboxylic group of one and amino group of another. How many types of amino acids are there? 20 types. So as a result, polypeptide chain, it is never homopolymer, it is always heteropolymer. Amino acids can be essential if we have to take it from the diet. They can be non-essential if our body can make. So I hope so up till here in this video, amino acid topic is clear to you. Now, in the next video, we'll be going to discuss about the protein.